Hey y'all, it's Crystal. Thanks for coming by today. Because it's that time of the month. Yeah, we're just gonna talk about my reading plans for the next month, which is September. It's right around the corner. I really feel like I blinked and August is like almost done. It's been crazy. So yeah, September is upon us. So let's go through my reading plans and yeah, because your girl got a big old stacks of books, so she won't try to get through and not get through most of it. Starting my life, it's okay. I really enjoy planning and stuff like that. So here we go. There's so many fun events happening in September. I'm really excited for. Yeah, I'm excited. So first off, a few kind of non event stuff. I have my little my book club I run with some friends of mine. Our pick for September is Master of Poisons by Andrea Hairston, and I'm excited to get to this one. I'm hoping it'll kind of spark some conversation, hoping that I will what's the word I'm looking for, I will find an audiobook for this one because it's chunky. I think this is a fantasy setting. I've heard good things about it, so I'm excited for that, but it's a big one. What else am I going to be reading? The Dark Hearts Book Club, which is run by Amy from Amy Noel Reads. Her pick this month is The Exorcist's House by Nick Roberts. It's on my list if I have time to get to it. The Indie Ink Drinkers, which is a newer book club created by M over at Ink Drinkers. Is it Ink Drinkers? She's going to do where she focuses on like independent books, and so The Stepney Green Killer by E.C. Hansen is her pick for September. I forgot to look at what Katrina Brown's Reaper Book Club pick is for September, but that is this book. And then I have a review book, Nine of Swords by Brooklyn Quintana I'm going to read. This is a fantasy book, and hopefully have that review up in October. I'm hoping. It's kind of a chunky book too, so I'm excited. The author, asked if I wanted to read it, so I said, yeah, why not? I like fantasy. I just don't read it a ton, you know what I mean? But it sounds interesting, so I'm going to give it a go. So I think that might be, I feel like I'm definitely missing something. Kelsey, what's your book club pick? I don't even remember. I didn't even look up everything. Anyway. Oh, and The Shades of Orange. Yes, Rachel over The Shades of Orange. Our book club pick for her Patreon book club is Joyland by Stephen King. I forgot to grab that book from downstairs. I think I do have that one, so I'm excited to get to that one. It's one of the hard case crime books, and I've heard it's pretty good. So yeah. Okay. Reading events. As you know, Jason from Jason's Weird Reads and I are bringing back round 2, the week of Weird. That will be the final week of September. So I don't have my TBR set in stone yet, than a couple of things. So hopefully this will be, I hit my thing. Hopefully this will be my sort of main book focus for that week, and this is called Hearts of Oak by Eddie Robson. I've had it on my shelf for a little while. It sounds wonderfully weird, and I just really want to get to it. So here we go. The buildings grow and the city expands, and the people of the land are starting to behave abnormally, or perhaps they've always behaved that way, and it's normality that's at fault. Our hero, close to retirement, finds that the world she has always known is nothing like she always believed it to be. There are dark forces. Wait, not dark. There are uncanny forces. No, not uncanny either. There are forces anyway, mostly slightly odd ones, and they appear to be acting in mysterious ways. It's about town planning, it's about talking cats, and it's about the nature of reality. Delightful science fiction adventure, blah, 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 blah. It just sounds weird and fun. I don't know. I'm so intrigued by this book. I've never heard anyone talk about it. I love the cover. It's got this, I don't know. I want to read this book. I just really want to read that book. So that's going to be my main, sort of like I said, main novel focus for that week. And then I got this recently. I purchased Born to be Weird, Demented Fantasy and Bizarro Horror Short Stories by Sept. I don't know if I'll get through every single story, but I would like to at least dig into some of this collection. I think it would be fun, and just see what's going on here. And I don't know, because I don't really know what to expect from this, but it caught my eye, so I just had to go ahead and buy it. And it's called Born to be Weird, so yeah. I'll probably read a Lovecraft story. I've got this little Lovecraft book. I also do have like the complete Lovecraft on my Kindle. I don't really know what I'll get into this time, but I'll dig into some Lovecraft for the old weird prompt, because we have prompts. Old weird, new weird will definitely fall for both of those. My Lovecraft will be an old weird, and I'm going to dig right back into these anthologies probably as well. I've got the New Weird anthology, which is edited by Anne Vandermeer and Jeff Vandermeer. Again, I don't really know what I'll pick yet, because I just don't know. I just don't know what I'm going to get into yet. But I got some stories marked from last week of Weird that I wanted to check out, kind of first. So I'll probably get to one of those. And then of course my big The Weird. I'm definitely gonna get back into this one. Definitely for some old weird and for the translated prompt, because I do remember there was quite a few older stories in here of the old weird that were also translated. So I'm definitely gonna be reading some stories out of here. And probably, this one was one that was on my radar. The Town of Cats by Hagiwara Sakutaro. That sounds amazing. And it's translated and it's old weird. I'm excited. So I'm going to be digging into the weird again. One day I'll actually finish this big ass book. So that's my week of weird plans. I will link our Discord below. I'll link the announcement below if you missed it and are interested in joining us for getting some weird fiction. So really it's just a week long. We just spend some time reading some weird stories. It's a lot of fun. So definitely come on and join us if you'd like to. Again, I'll link all the info about that below. And just get weird with us. Yeah, it's gonna be fun. So again, that's the very last full week of September. So yeah, I've got that going on. I do have a special reading vlog planned where I'm gonna be reading these books. Shall I tease them? I'm gonna keep it a secret. This one I've had little plans for a little while. I'll probably have to do that like the third week of September. I've got it all organized in my brain, okay? There is Space Opera September has returned. Yes, Space Opera September. I'll link the host below. We get Thomas from SFF80. I think Rachel's involved with it this year. I think there's someone else. I'll link below the hosts. I forgot. I'm sorry. Now there's a big old thing about Space Opera September, but I am just going to try to read some space opera because I've got a lot of other plans, and if I just read one kind of space opera book, I'm going to be fine with that, because I'm also trying to rope some things into my other readathons, particularly Shorty September, which I'm really excited about. So, I've got books. I'm like every month, I pull a lot of books and I get to what I get to. You know what I mean? I try to participate in events that I really want to, I want to try to get to a Star Trek Voyager book. This is number 4 of this Star Trek Voyager books. This is Violations by Susan Wright. This is actually the first book of this series that I actually own. Is number 4. So I really liked Voyager. So under the guise of helping the crew find a way home, a group of aliens board the USS Voyager and then steal the main computer. To get it back, Captain Janeway is forced to negotiate with the thieves, who are from a consortium of planets where thievery is a way of life. But as Janeway and the crew fight to retrieve their computer in time to save the barely functioning ship, they become embroiled in a political battle that could not only destroy the USS Voyager, but the crew as well. So that just sounds like a lot of fun. And it's going to be in space. So it's a space opera. Yeah, I'm excited. Now this one I pulled, hoping I can get the audiobook. Is Saturn Run by John Sanford. Rachel at the Shades of Orange, who I know is a co-host for Space Opera September. She recommends this book. She talks about this book a lot as being really good. It's a first contact type of story, and yeah, it is set in space. So I would definitely like to get to this if I can find the audiobook. at some point, which I think my library's got it. I think I've marked it on there on my Libby before. So this one sounds really good. It just sounded really good, so I'm gonna look at that. And in the spirit of like Shorty September, also I want to try to get through some graphic novels. I've yet to get to the Ascender series by Jeff Lemire. I completed Descender, and I bought the 4 volumes of Ascender, and I'm hoping there's some space stuff in here. I'm not sure. So this takes place a decade after the events of Descender, which involves, it's in space, and a new sort of consortium of planets and stuff like that, where robots and AI and things try to take over, and so then they were sort of outlawed, and then there was this little robot boy named Tim. It was the whole thing. I loved Descender. I love the Descender series so much. But yeah, I still need to dig into Ascender, and so I'm just really excited just to see. And right here you see a little robot guy right there. Again, I'm hoping I'm hoping we go to space at some point. I'd like to get through these 4 volumes of Ascender. So again, by Jeff Lemire, and the artwork is by Dustin Nguyen, and the artwork is so beautiful in these books. It's like this watercolor. It's really beautiful artwork in that series. And I'd also like to basically reread and then catch up to the volumes that I have of Saga. I think I stalled out on Saga maybe like book 6 or so. Do I even have book 7? Looks like I might be missing book 7. I have no idea. I seem to be missing book 7 in my stack. Maybe I put it back on the shelf. Anyway, Saga is a wonderful space story. These 2 people who are from kind of warring, clans or whatever, not clans, but they shouldn't be together, but they fall in love. It goes from there, and I love it. I love it so much. But again, I stalled out on reading it, and I really like to finish it out. They're, of course, short and sweet, and I like to just kind of get caught up. And I don't know if, like I said, I'm only up to 9 as far as what I've bought. There may be volume 10 or whatever out by now. I'm behind. So that's kind of my Space Opera September plans. Yeah, just taking it easy for that one. Okay, so the first 2 weeks of the month is the Cornival Readathon. This is a really fun readathon created by Kelsey over Slime and Slashers for her Patreon, for the people who support her on her Patreon. And I'm really excited. So it's all like carnival, circus, clowns, amusement parks, all that kind of just fun stuff is the theme of it. And there's a lot of prompts that you can get, and she's going to create us like a map and then give us little like characters and stuff to like play at our circus. I mean, she's gone all out for us. I'm really excited. I can't wait. And I've got some themed books here. I'll probably do a reading vlog for these particular themes as well, but I'll run through these really quickly first. I have some books I've pulled that are kind of circus and clowns or whatever themed, or have a clown on the cover. I have this Tom Piccarelli book called A Lower Deep, which sounds amazing. I don't think it's about clowns, but it has this amazing clown on the cover. It sounds flippin' amazing, but I don't know. Has anyone read this one yet? Let me know, because I really want to read this one. I don't know that I'll have time for it. This is definitely a maybe for that circus clown themed week of reading, at least 1 week probably of reading. I also have this called Dead Man Humor, 13 Fears of a Clown. This is a short story collection edited by Dave Higgins. Yeah, we're just talking about clowns. It's gonna be scary clowns. I bought this last year at the book festival I went to. I bought it from Samantha Bryant, who had a little table booth set up there. She signed it for me. I bought a couple of her books. Scary clowns. I actually really don't like clowns very much, so I'm facing my fears with this one. I'm facing my fears. This I've had on my shelf forever. If I don't read it now, I'm probably going to unhaul it. But this is Water for Elephants by Sarah Gruen. Is it Gruen? Yes. And I'm probably going to do an audiobook for this one. I think it's kind of a love story wrapped around this like circus setting. I'm interested, so I want to read it. I think I was made into a movie too, but I never saw the movie. Was Robert Pattinson in the movie, I think? I don't know. Now this one is called The Elephant in the Room by Holly Goldberg Sloan. This isn't like specifically set at like a circus or carnival, but we follow this young girl who she accompanies her father to fix a truck outside of their Oregon town. Behind an enormous stone wall, Sila meets a grandfatherly man who only months before won the lottery, and their new alliance leads them to the rescue of a circus elephant named Veda, and then to a friendship with an unusual boy named Mateo, proving that comfort and hope come in the most unlikely of places. So, I mean, it's circus adjacent in that they're trying to save this circus elephant. It sounds really sweet. This is just a middle grade story, so I think I'll definitely get to it really quickly. And the cover is just, look at the colors on that. It's so stunning. I think it sounds really sweet. I've had it on my shelf for a little while. I got this when I used to get the what's the service? Al Crate Jr. books. I really used to like getting Al Crate Jr. the middle grade books, but anyway, I got this a year or two ago. So yeah, I'm gonna read about it. I also have this, which is another middle grade book, and it's called Circus Mirandus by Cassie Beasley, and it's a circus book. Micah's grandpa Ephraim has always told him wonderful stories about Circus Mirandus, a magical circus he visited when he was a boy. But now Grandpa Ephraim is dying, and terrible grouchy great aunt Gertrudis has arrived to take care of Micah. All the magic of Micah's childhood seems lost until Grandpa finally tells him the truth, that Circus Mirandus is real, and the light bender, the circus's greatest magician, owes Grandpa Ephraim a miracle. So his friend, they go to seek out the circus to save his grandfather. The only problem, is the light bender doesn't want to keep his promise. Okay, this sounds really fun. I know I got the audiobook is on my Libby for this one too, so that just sounds like a lot of fun. I got a couple other circus-y themed books here that I can run through the prompts, but I don't have a book for every prompt quite yet. But there's a saucy, sexy, smutty book I want to read. I don't even want to say the name of it. I'm going to put it right here. It's like 36 pages long. You can get it on Scribd. Anybody want to buddy read that one with me? There's an audiobook on Libby called The Flying Circus by Susan Crandall. It's another kind of a circus-y, I think, historical fiction type story. I'm already reading Joyland by Stephen King, which I think has like a carnival type setting, I think. So those are ones that don't quite fit into some of the prompts. But the prompts are pretty fun, like cover that reminds you of another Kelsey corn, a popcorn read, which is just something fun. There's also to watch something like a TV episode or movie that has like a carnival or circus or clowns in it. A book that features clowns, which of course will be this one. Big top colors on the cover, which will be like red and white, like the stripe of a tent. So most of these books will fit some of the, a lot of these prompts. I do also have another short story collection called Welcome to the Funhouse, which is an anthology I like to try to get to some of those stories too. Got that. And if I have time, I'd like to try to get to Clowns versus Spiders. I know this is one that Kelsey really loves, and so I'd kind of like to read that in honor of this, and it's got clowns in it. Yeah, and some of these other prompts will kind of fit into the books that I have planned for Shorty September. So Shorty September will be going the whole month long, and you're just reading short books. And I love Shorty September because the prompts are always just so much fun. And this, of course, is hosted by Shine and Bird over at Story Time and Soggy X Pack Book Nerd Heather over there. I love both of their channels. Of course, I will link everything below. Please go check them out. I just pulled basically a bunch of short books and kind of fit most of them into a prompt. Let's run through the prompts really quickly because they're just really fun. So number one is Spanx, a book with magic or witchcraft. I'm hoping this has some magic bits in it. The Salt Grows Heavy by Cassandra Call, really short novella. I think it's a fantasy-ish story. So I'm kind of hoping it has a little bit of magic into it. I'll see, I suppose. So, and then Half and Half Shorts is to read a book and then watch the adaptation. I'm going to dig into My So-Called Life. Yeah, I bought this last year, still haven't read it. I love My So-Called Life. I know Bert loves My So-Called Life. And so I'm going to read this kind of in honor of our love for the 90s, right? And I'm going to definitely try to watch at least one episode of My So-Called Life. I haven't watched it for so long. I love this show so much. Yeah, so I can't wait to get into that. One I don't have quite picked out yet, and I need to probably pick something, is for Shorty Shorts, which is a book from the 70s and 80s. I know I have something I can pick, but I just hadn't quite narrowed it down quite yet. We'll get there in a minute. Okay, the next one is Hoochie Daddy Shorts. So read like a spicy read or like a gossipy biography, something like that. So I picked, let me find it. I'm gonna read Cherry Magic. Yes, I think it gets a little saucy. I'm hoping it does. This is a manga. This is written by Yu Toyota. This is volume 1. I'm really excited. It's a workplace kind of romance. So this is translated by Taylor Engel. And like I said, it's a workplace romance of these two dudes. And I don't know, I've just been dying to read it. And so I'm going to finally read it. Oops. So I've got that. I think I got this also slotted in for one of the Cornival prompts also. Okay, Ripped Shorts, the classic of Shorty September, is to read a mystery or a slasher. Now I'm hoping that this has a bit of a mysterious edge to it. Shooting Star by Joe R. Lansdale. It is just a short story. I got a Nightworms. I don't think it's slashery, but I'm hoping it at least is, like I said, has a mysterious side to it. We'll see. There's a flying saucer involved. I don't know. I'm not sure. But I'm going to give it a go. And it's really short. Okay, next is Elizabethan Shorts. Is to read an historical read. So I have slotted Cruel Angels, Past Sundown by Haley Piper, because I got to read this. This is her Splatterpunk Western, so it definitely has a historical setting. It's Haley Piper. I love all of Haley's books. And I want to read it. I can't wait to read it. I want to read it. I'm going to read it. Okay. So next one is Lodge Shorts. A book that you bought because you were trying to look cool. And I kind of picked this one, In the Miso Soup by Rue Murakami. Because, yeah, I mean, this is kind of a cool book, right? And when you want to look edgy, you read this book, right? And I hadn't read it yet, so. And it's just over 200 pages. So it definitely fits for the short book, and I just want to read it. I really just want to read it. But I'm just, again, I'm just going to get to what I can get to. Let me get translated by Ralph McCarthy from the Japanese. I don't really even know what that book's about, to be honest. Okay, next one is the super fun prompt. It's a new one for this year. Pedro Pascal Shorts. Let's take a moment. I'm excited. So this one is an unexpected purchase, which I'm actually going to be slotting in this book for that, the Born to Be Weird Stories, because yeah, I totally bought this on a whim at my local indie bookstore. It was totally, it wasn't looking to buy it by any means, but I bought it, and so I'm using that for that one. Mom Shorts is to read a comfort read, and I'm going to be reading this manga. This is Miss Koizumi Loves Ramen Noodles by Naru Narumi. It's a food manga about ramen noodles, which I love ramen noodles also, and it's nice and short, and it just sounds like it's going to be really comforting and wonderful. So I'm really excited. This is also going to be going for a Cornival prompt of like read a book that has like it's about food or has food on the cover. So yeah, ramen noodles for the win for that one. Next one is Lederhosen, and that's a new one for this year, is to read a translated work. I'm just going to pull out another manga for this one because why not? This is called Donuts Under a Crescent Moon. This is actually another kind of romance love story between these two women. I don't know, it just sounds really wonderful, and I just want to read it. It sounds really sweet, so I think it looks really sweet. So I'm going to read that one, and of course just translated from the Japanese by da, 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 da. Can I find it? I can't. They always put them in different places in the books. I don't know. I'll find it later. Anyway. Okay. One I don't quite have is Dolphin Shorts 2 is a book with water on the cover. I need to find something for that. And then Denim Shorts is a Reader Modern classic. I pulled out The Outsiders by S.E. Hinton. I've never actually read The Outsiders, and it seems like a modern classic to me. I don't know. What do you consider a modern classic? I'm not sure. This came out when? 1967, so yeah, a long time ago now. This is a movie, I've seen the movie a million times, but I've never actually read the book, so I've got that pegged for a modern classic, and we'll see if I, of course, actually get to it. A few other things I did pull for Shorty September. This one, which sounds really bizarre, might also work for Week of Weird if I have time for it. It's called The Ancestry of Objects by Tatiana Reichman. I'm not sure. A young woman meets a man at a restaurant while eating alone and contemplating her own death. They exchange words only briefly, but by the end of the week he has entered her world with an intensity rivaled only by her desire to end her life. Told with the lyrical persistence of a Greek chorus, it unravels the story of an unnamed narrator's affair with David, married, graying, but to whose erotic power the narrator succumbs. As they meet more and more frequently, her thoughts move between their relationship to her history with religion, the mystery of her absent mother, the ghost of her grandparents to roam her ancestral house. Memories stop and loop back at themselves to unform her identity, with her beliefs, troubled past, and sexuality mixing feverishly in the face of oblivion. Nothing can fill the voids of time and loss, not God, memory, not family, and certainly not love. I think there's a bit of eroticism in this one. I don't know. I picked this up at like a thrift store. It just sounds kind of wonderfully weird. I don't know about that, but I put some poetry on here because, again, Bart likes to read poems. It's What Kind of Woman by Kate Baer. It's something I picked up kind of recently. Maybe I'll just kind of dig through this for the month and read some poems. Yeah, I do like to read poetry. And I got this little Sylvia Plath story also, Mary Ventura in the Ninth Kingdom, which also sounds a little weird. So I may slot that in for a Week of Weird too, I'm not sure. So this was written when she was a student at Smith College in 1952. So it's a young woman's fateful train journey. Lips the color of blood, the sun an unprecedented orange, train wheels that sound like guilt and guilt and guilt are just some of the things Mary Ventura begins to notice on her journey to the Ninth Kingdom. But what is the Ninth Kingdom, she asks a kind lady sitting in her carriage. It's the kingdom of the frozen will, comes the reply. There is no going back. So it's a dark tale of female agency and independence, written not long after she herself left home. Grapples with mortality in motion. So yeah, it's just a short story. We'll see about that. Okay, is there anything else I need to mention? I don't think so. I think I've kind of got everything. That's a lot. But again, I'm not going to stress anything. I like to have things to pick from and choose from. But I'm really excited about all the fun events for September, and we're gearing up for spooky season. And so, yeah, I'm super excited. So again, I hope that you'll join us for a week of weird. Again, link info below, and let me know what events are you going to be joining in this September, because I'm sure there's some I don't even know about. And yeah, so that's it for me today. This is a long one, sorry. So thanks for watching, and I'll check you later. Bye, guys.